Hello and welcome to One Card Wonder Wednesday for this first Wednesday in October, October 3rd, 2018. I hope you all are having a great day. So far so good for me. I wanted to show you this adorable card that we're going to be making today. It's a birthday card, obviously. I used the Best Route Designer Series paper that's in the annual catalog. It's my first time playing with it and I really loved it. I used Old Navy for the card base. This piece here with the embossing is crushed curry. And on the inside I put a piece of Whisper White just for writing since the cardstock is dark. That way it gives you an easier place to put your personal message to whoever you're sending the card to. I used the Broadway birthday set for the stamping. And I used Night of Navy ink. And I'll show you right now how I put this card together. So the first thing I did was adhere my piece of Whisper White to the inside of the card. I just used some snail adhesive, and it doesn't have to be a lot or perfect because it's just for the inside of the card, and it's not going to fall out once you get it stuck on there anyway. And then I went ahead and folded it over and used a bone folder to get a good crease. Then I took a piece of crushed curry cardstock, and it is 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches, and I ran it through the Maps, etc. dynamic embossing folder. And it's one of the thicker ones, so it just goes through the Big Shot just a little bit differently. You don't need both of your plates and that type of thing when you're running it through. But what's nice about the dynamic folders is they really give a good impression. Sorry, I'm trying to get my video to pull up because there it is. Wanted to make sure it's pulling up and you can see everything. So anyway, so that is 3 3/4 by 5 inches run through the Maps, etc. embossing. After I had this piece, I went ahead and just laid it on here. I'm not adhering it yet, but I have all these other little pieces that I cut from the Maps, or from the Best Route Designer Series paper. This little piece of bicycle print is 3 inches by 2.5 inches. This one with the arrows is 4.5 by 1.5 inches, and that goes down the side of our paper. This little gray Maps is 2 by 2. The airplanes is 3 by 2. And then I used the stitched framelits, and I used the second to the largest, of course won't pull off now, square framelit, which has the little stitching detail on it to cut that square out with this little crosshatch, which is the back of the arrows paper. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this longer piece and just get that one on there and use the snail. You could use glue if you want. I mean, it's up to you. I prefer the snail for doing this because even though it's got the raised, that snail is going to stick right to those raised pieces and it'll keep it in place. I went ahead and took this little gray Maps piece, did the same, just put a little bit of snail on it, and then I just kind of put it up toward the top of this piece of the arrows. Then I used my piece with the bicycles, which I think is adorable, and this side is really cute too with the Mango Melody and looks like Daffodil Delight, I'm not sure, stripes. And then I went ahead and just adhered this bicycle piece on here as well and did the same with the airplane piece. So if you're watching, give me a like or a star or something so I can see that you're here. Once I put this one on, I just moved it over just a little bit because I kind of wanted to even out my spacing, and just so that way you can still see a little bit of the gray Map piece. Anyway, so I'm not going to adhere yet. I'm going to take this little piece with the gray, I say crosshatch, but it's just the white stripes. I don't know what you would call it. And I used the Night of Navy ink. And I took the It's Your Birthday stamp from the Broadway birthday set, but I'm only inking up birthday because I just want it I just want the birthday. So I'm just going to hold my ink pad so I can see where I'm getting ink on it. And I'm gonna tap it a few times just to make sure I have ink on that birthday part. And then the It's Yours left blank. And I'm just gonna kind of center it and a little further down on my little gray piece. And there you can see how I just have the birthday now. You can also use this technique instead of, if there's a lot of words on a stamp and you just want a certain word, you can use your markers to color it in. That makes it easy too. But for this one, it was easy just to put part of it on the stamp pad to get the birthday. Now I took this piece, this birthday piece, and I have the word happy that I got from the Merry Christmas Thinlits out of the holiday catalog, and I thought that made a really pretty happy to use for a birthday card. So I already put some little tiny adhesive strips on the back that I cut out from my Stampin' Dimensionals, because the happy is very, a lot of skinny parts on it. But then I took one of these navy stars, Night of Navy Stars that I cut out using the wood crate framelits. And I'm gonna adhere that to the back of the word happy, right in around the H and the A, because I just thought it gave it just a cute little background. And I'm just gonna slide that in. And if you get a little bit of glue out, don't worry about it. It's gonna turn white and it'll be fine. I've already taken the adhesive off the backs of those, so I'm just gonna flip it over and I'm just going to adhere it onto that stitched framelit square. And since you already had all of the little dimensionals on there, it made it easy. Now I had a little bit of glue squirt out here on this edge, so I'm just going to take that off with my paper piercer, and it comes off nice and neat. Now flip that over, and I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of this. I just used some regular size dimensionals on the back. You could use the mini ones if you want. I also, a good tip, I never throw away the outside edge once left. Once I get all the dimensionals off from this, you use this, you cut those pieces up and use them. There's no point in wasting that good dimensional. And as we know, I like them, so I make sure I get my money's worth when I buy those. And those are on sale this week because it's World Card Making Day this Saturday, so there is a 10% off sale on some items on Stampin' Up, and that is one of them. Is, whoops, don't want to adhere that yet, sorry. I need to take my Night of Navy baker's twine, and I didn't measure, I just took a piece of Scotch tape and I taped it up to a piece, the end of it up toward the top, and then I just brought it around, and you can do it in any sort of pattern or design that you want. I just did it 3 times just to get 3 strips across the front. But you could do 4 or 5. It depends on how much detail you want on there with the baker's twine. And then I went ahead and put dimensionals on the back of this as well. Be a little easier than running over the baker's twine with your with your snail adhesive. I mean, it can be done, but it's just easier sometimes just to use the dimensionals. And it gives your card a little more pizzazz as well, because it raises it up. Then I went ahead and adhered this to the front of the Night of Navy that we already had put together. And since I already took the backing off from these, I'm just going to go ahead and adhere this. I kind of moved it over a little bit to the right, not too far, but just a little bit. And then adhere that down. We've got 3 more stars, 1 in Night of Navy and 2 in the Mango Melody. And we're going to add those to the front of the card as well. I started by just putting one of the Night of Navy over here and then kind of layering the Mango Melody one over top of it just a little bit. And then the last Mango Melody one I just stuck up at the top. And now to give it a little bit of extra sparkle, I use the Twinkle Adhesive Sequins in silver. And since this one looks like it's trying to pop off, I'm just gonna go ahead and use it. And just put a couple throughout the card. It's, you know, doesn't matter where you put them. It's however you feel like spacing them. I just did 3 on each card. And there you have it. A very cute, boyish, I would say, birthday card. I mean, but if you have a little girl who these are her favorite colors, it would be perfect for her too. So I hope you enjoyed today's One Card Wonder Wednesday, and check back with me later in the week. I'm going to be doing some videos on Saturday if you want to join me for World Card Making Day. I appreciate you watching today. Have a good day.